Hello everyone, welcome to the daily current affair analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, 29th August 2025. So before getting into the discussion, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't, please do subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time update from Shankar IAS Academy. And also the questions for the discussion will be discussed in the channel this evening. So please do give your maximum participation. And before getting into the discussion, there is an important announcement from the Academy that is regarding the pre-storming prelims stress series. The first batch will be starting on 4th September 2025 and the link for the registration is available on the website, so please do register and crack the prelims in 2026. And coming to the today's topics, the first topic is about the cotton, because recently the government has suspended the import duty on cotton till September 30th, considering the recent fall of the cotton production in India. And the next article is about the Bodoland Happiness Mission. So this happiness mission was launched in Bodoland territorial region in 2022 to ensure the well-being of the people. So in this article we will be discussing what are the key initiatives taken under the happiness mission. And the next article is about the enforcement directorate, because recently the enforcement directorate conducted a raid in 4 private properties in the state of Tripura, and the directorate also freezed the bank account of the people who are accused in the case. And the next article is about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So we can see that the 2025 marks the 11th year of the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So we will be discussing what are the key achievements of the biggest financial inclusion initiative launched by the government of India. And finally, we will be discussing the important prelims topics shortly in the Prelims Focus. If all set, let's begin the discussion with the first article. Why has the import duty on cotton been suspended? The article is taken from The Hindu. So considering the fall of the cotton production in India, the government has decided to suspend the import duty on cotton till September 30th. So in this background, let us discuss more about this article. So first we'll start with a brief background about the cotton. We know that the cotton, it is also known as white gold, and it is a key raw material for the textile industry. And if we trace the history of the cotton cultivation in India, we can trace that back to the Harappan days. So since the Harappan times, we are cultivating the cotton in Indian subcontinent, and currently nearly 6 million farmers in India are engaged in the cotton cultivation. And in 2021, the government imposed 11% import duty on cotton, considering the surplus production. So that time the total production stood at 350 lakh bale, and the total requirement, including non-mill requirement, was just 335 lakh bale. So considering this surplus, the government imposed 11% import duty to protect the domestic producers. And what is the current situation? The current situation has changed, because there's a fall of the cotton production. The total production fell to 294 lakh bale, which is lowest in the last 15 years, and the total requirement is currently standing at 380 lakh bale. So to address this gap, the government has decided to suspend the import duty. And in the meantime, that is before September 13, we are expecting nearly 40 lakh bale of cotton to reach India, and the major supply we are expecting from Australia, USA, Brazil and Egypt. And you can see that according to the report from the Global Trade Research Initiative, between the financial year 2024-25 and between the financial year 2023-24 and 2024-25, the cotton import in India continued to increase. So in 23-24, it stood at the value of 579.2 million, but in 24-25 it touched 1.20 billion. So this is showing that even after imposing 11% duty, import duty on cotton, the cotton import in India continued to increase. So this is showing the structural issues associated with the cotton market. And coming to the government decision, you can see that on 18th August 2025, the government suspended the 11% import duty on the cotton, and this suspension will last till September 30th. So what is the objective? To address the shortage of the cotton, so we can bring more cotton to the country, supporting the textile industry and reducing the export cost. And you can see that in the meantime, that is before the September 30th, we are expecting nearly 40 lakh bale. But you can see that the time is very less, the deadline is very closer. So because of this, we can expect only 2 lakh bale, which is already in the transition. So only 2 lakh bale of cotton will enter into India without any duty because of the closed deadline. And coming to the long-term solution, so these are the solutions suggested by the industries. First is bringing a stable import duty policy. So we can see that in India, the cotton cultivation is a kharif crop, and it is cultivated from October to February, right? So this is a peak season for the cotton. So what happened? if the suspension or if the reduction of the import duty during the peak season, then that will affect the domestic producers. So what the industries are saying is that bringing a stable import duty policy, that is suspending the duty only during the non-peak season, that is between the September and April and September. So this will not affect the domestic producers much. And you can see that if the government reduces the import duty during the October to February, then that may affect the cotton producers in India, because that time only the cotton cultivation will happen, and during the time of February, the cotton harvesting will happen. And the next is 5% interest subvention on working capital. So what is meant by working capital? Working capital refers to the capital required for the companies or industries to run their day-to-day business, and this may vary according to the scale of the industry. So if you take the cotton textile industry, it's a large scale industry, and the large scale industry needs large scale working capital. And sometimes to meet this working capital, the industries may take the loan from the banks, and the banks may impose heavy duty, and this heavy duty will eventually increase the cost of the production. And because of this heavy cost, sometimes the companies will be forced to purchase the cotton from other countries. So what happens, this will reduce the purchase of the cotton from domestic markets. So to address this problem, if the government can provide an 5% relief in the interest, then the companies or the industries can purchase more cotton from the domestic producers, and this will also reduce the government burden on the MSP operation. So we can see that we have this Cotton Corporation of India, and it is established in 1970 to act as a bridge between the farmers' welfare and the needs of the textile industry. And this this Cotton Corporation of India spent nearly 37,000 crore on MSP operation to procure cotton from the farmers, and they procured nearly 100 lakh bale of cotton, and out of this 100 lakh bale, only 70 lakh bale got sold into the market. So this is showing the structural issues in the cotton market. So if the companies can reduce their cost on the working capital, then it will then the companies can purchase more cotton from the farmers, and this will reduce the government burden on MSP operation. And coming to the Cotton Corporation of India, so it's a like I mentioned, it acts as a bridge between the farmers' welfare and the industrial needs. So it is established in 1970 under the Ministry of Textiles, and it is headquartered in Navi Mumbai. And the major role of the Cotton Corporation of India includes procurement of cotton at MSP to protect the farmers, stabilizing the market price, providing supply to the industries whenever there is a need, and acting as a balancing entity between the farmers' welfare and the needs of the industry. So in this topic, we discussed why the government suspended the import duty on cotton, and also certain key facts about the Cotton Corporation of India. So with this, we will move to the next article. In Bodoland Territorial Region, Happiness Mission seeks to heal wounds. The article is taken from The Hindu. So this article is talking about the progress of the Happiness Mission in the Bodoland Territorial Region, and this mission was launched in 2022 to bring more harmony and well-being to the people of the Bodoland Territorial Region. And in this background, let us discuss more about this article. So first, we will start with the Bodoland Territorial Region. So we know that Bodoland Territorial Region is an autonomous tribal district located in the state of Assam. So if you take the 5th schedule of the Indian Constitution, which provides for the scheduled areas for the better promotion and conservation of the culture, and then we have the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, which provides for special areas for tribal people, and especially in the states of Assam, Tripura, Mizoram, and Meghalaya. And this Bodoland Territorial Region is one such tribal areas located in the state of Assam, and it is recognized under the 6th schedule. So what is the key difference between the areas of the 5th schedule and the 6th schedule? So the 5th schedule talks about the conservation of the culture in terms of in generally, and the 6th schedule provides for the special provisions for the tribal communities living in the state of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, and Tripura. And what is the key difference? If you take the native communities in other scheduled areas, they are somewhat assimilated into the majority population in terms of culture and the custom. But the people who are living in the regions recognized under the 6th schedule, they are still following their indigenous customs and beliefs, and they are not that much assimilated into the general or the majority population. And you can see that this Bodoland territorial region is one such region recognized under the 6th schedule, and it is located in the state of Assam, and it includes the districts, it covers 5 major districts, that is Kokrajhar, Chirang, Baksa, Udalguri, and Tamilpur. And this Tamilpur was created in 2022. And this Bodoland territorial region, which is located in Assam, shares nearly 266 kilometers of border with Bhutan. And coming to the map, so here you can see the 4 major districts. Actually we have 5. So in 2022, taking certain places from Baksa, we created Tamilpur. So as of now we have 5 major districts in the Bodoland territorial region. So here you can see the map. And coming to the Bodos, so they are the largest indigenous plains tribe of the Assam, and they belongs to the language group of Tibeto-Burmese, and they follows the religions of Hinduism, Christianity, and also some sections follows the traditional beliefs and their historic demands. So if we will discuss the history of this region and the people. So their major demands are recognition for their culture, autonomy in terms of administration, and also better socio-economic development. And coming to the history, so if you take the history of this region, we can talk from the 16th century. So for some time this region was controlled by the Bhutan, and later the Ahom kingdom took the control of this region. And after that, in 1820s, the Ahoms were defeated by the British, and Ahoms were defeated along with the during the time of Anglo-Burmese war. And after that, you can see that this region was controlled by the British for until the independence of 1947. So after the independence of 1947, this region was backward in terms of socio-economic development. And in 1980s, due to various reasons like fear of loss of identity. So we can see that in 1970s, due to the Bangladesh instability, many people started migrating into this region. And you can see that the political change, the migration, this dynamics created a fear of loss of identity in this region. And you can see that this tension reached its peak in 1980s, and this resulted into emergence of a movement demanding a separate Bodoland statehood. And again, you can see that this resulted into a conflict between two sides. One side, the government of Assam and the government of India. On other side, the Bodoland movement. And this resulted into insurgency, communal violence, and as a result of this, nearly 4 lakh people got displaced in this region, and 100 plus people got killed. And in 1993, the government of India and the government of Assam on one side, and the movement on the other side, they signed an accord. And as per this accord, this Bodoland territorial region was recognized under the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution, with a Bodoland Council to take care of the administration. But the power and the fund to this council was very limited, and that made this council ineffective. And again, the tension started. And in 2003, with the surrender of the Bodoland Liberation Tigers, once again the government signed an accord with the movement, and that is known as Bodo Accord of 2003. And as per this, Bodoland Territorial Council was recognized under the 6th schedule with more autonomous power, and an elected body of 40 seats with a special power over the local governance. And in 2020, there was another accord between the Bodo movement and the government, and that renamed the Bodoland Territorial Council into Bodoland Territorial Region with a greater autonomy and better development packages. And coming to the happiness mission, so we can see that if from the history we discussed, we can see that the people in this region suffered a lot because of the political instability and violence and all. So to bring more harmony in this region, in 2022, the Bodoland Territorial Region Chief Pramod Boro launched the program that is Happiness Mission, and it is inspired from the Bhutan's Gross National Happiness Index. So this Gross National Happiness Index measures the happiness of the people beyond the economic well-being. So we cannot say that the people who are earning higher income are happy. So to be happy, we need other needs also, right? And this happiness mission is which is inspired from the Gross National Happiness Index of the Bhutan, is looking to bring more harmony in this region, which is focusing on the mental and emotional well-being of the people, mindfulness, developing emotional intelligence, and also peace building, and bringing more dialogue between the 26 diverse communities in the BTS. So you can see that the Bodos, they are the largest plains community in this region, but they are not the only community living in this region. Even for example, there is another community called the Mia community. It's a Bengali speaking community living in this region. So there are nearly 26 indigenous communities are living in this region. So proper cooperation between them is very important to build a sustainable peace in the future. And coming to the initiatives, so what are the initiatives taken under the happiness mission? First is training, that is nearly 1700 plus peace volunteers are trained since 2023, and nearly 15,000 plus people are getting involved in this peace mission, including ex-insurgents. And the next is inclusive steps, that like I mentioned, not just the borders, there are other communities living in this area, so we have to respect their identity and their custom, their culture. So for that, the mission launched an all language word book to respect even the smallest communities living in the area. And the next is the mission is also planning for establishing a museum come resource centers for each community. So upholding their to uphold their identity and their culture. And this mission is also focusing on developing women leaders, political and community representatives, with a special focus on youth, because they are going to speak for the next generations. So these are the initiatives taken under the peace mission. So in this topic, we discussed what is Bodoland territorial region, and who are the Bodo people, and what was the issue in this region, their history, and the recent progress in the happiness mission launched in the Bodoland territorial region. So with this, we will move to the next article. ED blocks bank account of people raided in Tripura. The article is taken from The Hindu. So recently, the Enforcement Directorate conducted a raid in 4 private properties in the state of Tripura, and they even blocked the bank account of the 4 people who are accused in this case. So in this background, let us discuss more about this news article. So first, we'll start with the Enforcement Directorate. So it's a specialized agency working in the Department of Revenue under the Ministry of Finance to deal with the cases related to money laundering, and it was established in the year 1956 as Enforcement Unit, working under the same department and ministry, and later it was renamed as Enforcement Directorate, and it is headquartered in New Delhi. And you have to note that it is not a constitutional or a statutory commission like the Election Commission of India or CAG, and it derives power from various acts. So what are those acts? So the powers are mainly derived from PMLA 2002, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act of 2002. It's a criminal law against the money laundering activity. And the next is the FEMA, that is Foreign Exchange Management Act of 1999. It's a civil law against the foreign exchange contraventions. And then we had the FERA, that is Foreign Exchange Regulation Act of 1973, but later it was repealed in the year 2000. And coming to the powers for the Enforcement Directorate under the PMLA. So the Section 5 provides for the provisional attachment of the proceeds of crime. So proceeds of crime. So what is it? So we can see that if the Enforcement Directorate believes, based on the evidence, if the Enforcement Directorate believes that a particular asset or a property is earned through a crime, then in that case the Enforcement Directorate can attach or seal the property up to 180 days. So not that this power is not absolute, they can seal the property only up to 180 days, and after that the matter will be transferred to the adjudicating authority established under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and they will decide the further proceedings. And the next is section 16 to 18. So it provides for the provisions related to conducting surveys, search and seizure, and the search of the persons involved in the crime. So the Enforcement Directorate can conduct a raid, they can search for documents and the hidden property, and if in that case, if the people are accused in this crime, then in that case the Enforcement Directorate can take action against the people. They can search the people in case if they found that the people are trying to manipulate the case and all. And the next we have the section 19, which provides for the provision of arrest of the person believed to be guilty of money laundering. And next we have the section 17 clause 1a, which provides provisions regarding the freezing of the record of the property, including the bank account, when the seizure of the property is not possible. For example, if they found that imagine that a person holds 50 crore rupees in his bank account, and there is a case that this claiming that this person earned this 50 crore rupees through illegal activity. So this case is not concluded. In that case, the Enforcement Directorate can freeze the 50 crore rupees. That means they can freeze the asset until the case ends or until the guilty is proven. And next we have the provision under section 50, which provides a power, a civil court like power to the enforcement directorate. So the enforcement directorate can summon the parties involved in this case, and they can take the recording of their evidences given by these people and all. And the next we have the section 44 to 45, which provides trial before provisions regarding the trial before the special court. So you can see that the cases related to the money laundering are handled by special courts with the special expertise in the field of financial matters. So they will be handling, that court will be handling the cases related to money laundering. And the section 44 of the PMLA Act provides for the provision of trial regarding the special court, and also twin bail condition. So what is the twin bail condition? So here in this case you can see that first the public prosecutor can oppose the bail which is going to be guaranteed to the person who is accused in this case. And the next is, what are the twin conditions? First is, the court has to believe that this person is not guilty of this crime, and the next is, the court has to satisfy that this person will not commit any crime during the period of the bail. And you can see that in 2017 there was a famous case called the Nikesh Tarachand Shah case. In this case, the twin conditions were struck down, but later through an amendment in 2018, we once again restored this twin conditions. And the next is the section 54, which which provides provisions regarding the assistance to the ED. So the ED can seek assistance from police, customs, and RBI, and also from financial intelligence unit to deal with a particular case. So this will speed up the cases, as well as it will improve the efficiency in investigation. So in this topic we discussed the basics about ED and the special powers guaranteed by the PMLA Act to the Enforcement Directorate. So with this we will move to the next article. PMJDY Yojana has removed intermediaries to ensure subsidies reach beneficiaries. The article is taken from the Indian Express. So we know that the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the largest initiative taken by the government of India to ensure the financial inclusion, and this initiative was launched on 28th August 2014, and this year it is completing the 11th year. So in this background, let us discuss more about its progress and achievements. So first we'll start with the basics about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. The intention, the objective is ensuring the financial inclusion. So what is meant by financial inclusion? So there are a lot of definitions for the financial inclusion, but simply we can say that the financial inclusion means on-time accessibility to the financial services. The services can be transaction, or on-time banking facility, or availability to the credit and all. And under this Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, the government is aiming to bring at least one bank account per household in India, and this bank account can be opened with a zero balance. For example, if you go to many private banks, they will ask for a starting deposit of 2,000 or sometimes even up to 10k, and a RuPay card will also be provided for ATM facility, and insurance coverage will also be provided for the people, an accident coverage up to 2 lakh and life coverage up to 30,000, and this is available to the people who joined the Jan Dhan Yojana before 28th August 2018. And you can see that an overdraft facility up to 10k is also available. That means if a person doesn't have a bank balance in his bank, but still he can withdraw up to 10k from his Jan Dhan account, and later he can pay in installments. And the next is the direct benefit transfer enabled subsidy. So we can see that before that the benefits will be reaching through lot of stages and a lot of intermediaries, but through this bank account facility, now the government can directly provide the benefit to the people through the bank account, so they don't have to depend on the intermediaries. And the next is the bringing of bank mitras, that means bank friend, to ensure the last mile connectivity to the financial services. So this bank mitra is a person who brings the financial facility like ATM services to the villages located in the remote area. And the focus is marginalized on marginalized household. So we can see that the majority of the people who opened the account under the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana are from the rural area. So coming to the achievement, so far nearly 56.2 crore accounts, bank accounts are opened under the Jan Dhan Yojana, and a majority of them, that is nearly 37.5 crore accounts, are opened from the rural area, and the remaining 18.7 crore accounts are opened from urban area. So you have to note that majority of the accounts are opened from the rural area, and 56% of the account holders are women. And the next is so far since 2015 we have received a deposit of nearly 2.68 lakh crore in Jan Dhan accounts, and you can see that nearly 38.7 crore rupee cards are distributed, and also 16.2 lakh bank mitras are established across the countries to ensure the last mile connectivity. And nearly we can see that now nearly 99.9% of the villages in India are located within 5 they have a banking outlet within 5 kilometer radius, and it is very, very helpful for boosting the digital payments, for example UPI and all. And you can see that the if you now the government is planning to expand the UPI facility to Europe and Africa. And you can see that we realized the importance of the digital transaction during the time of COVID-19, because you can see that during the time of COVID-19 majority of the institutions preferred digital transaction rather than direct transaction. And coming to the role in the social development, so how this financial inclusion will helpful in reducing in ensuring the social development. So we can see that this financial inclusion is very important to achieve the sustainable development goals also. For example, goal number 1, 2, 5, like that. So goal number 1 is talking about the poverty reduction, 2 is talking about the hunger reduction, and the goal number 5 is talking about the gender equality and the women empowerment. You can see that the majority of the account holders are women. And so therefore definitely the step towards financial inclusion will ensure the social development also. But how? First is poverty reduction. So we can see that now the pensions and other benefits can be directly transferred to the bank account. And you can see that through holding a bank account, the people are entering into formal economy. That means they can apply for loan. That means they don't have to rely more on the money lenders who will exploit the people with the heavy interest. And the next is the women empowerment. Like I mentioned, 56% of the account holders are women. And the next is social security, like the benefits under the Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, benefits under Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, and other pensions are also directly provided to the people without any intermediaries. So before that, we seen a trend in the, especially in the rural area, that the influential people will put their hands in the pension also. That means they will take a particular amount from the pension and they will give the rest amount to the old age people. So now because of the direct benefit transfer facility, we can avoid such exploitation. And the next is direct delivery, welfare delivery. So like I mentioned, without any intermediaries. And the next is financial literacy and inclusion. So you can see that now even the majority of the bank accounts are opened from the rural area, and the majority and the focus of the Jan Dhan Yojana is ensuring the financial inclusion with a particular focus on the marginalized areas and communities. So therefore they can also enter into the formal economy. So before that, we can see that if we transact, if for example if a company provides income wage to a labor through a formal means, then that means that will be recorded. But if the company provides that through an informal way, that will not be recorded. And through this we can show that the company is underpaying the workers, if that is the case. So through that we can avoid such exploitations. So we can also ensure that the laborers are paid according to the proportional of the work they've done. So coming to the key challenges. So what are the challenges associated with ensuring the financial inclusion? So the first is the dormant account. So you can see that many people may have the account, but they are not actively using it. And the next is the low financial literacy because of the lack of awareness and the fear of misuse. So you can see that the people, especially the people belongs to the old age and all, they may have the bank account, but still they don't know how to use it. So what happens? The people in the neighborhood will get the ATM pin number and they will take the pension from the bank, and they will also take a particular amount from the pension. So these type of issues are still persisting. And the next is the weak banking infra. So you can see that the bank mitras are overburdened, and there are a gap between the rural and urban area. So you can see that ensuring the last mile connectivity through the banking mitras, it has its own difficulty because of the difficult terrain and the lack of cooperation from the people. And these are the issues facing here. And at the same time, the banking mitras cannot reach they too have their own limitations because they are the people who cannot reach everywhere on time. So to solve this problem, we need a fixed infrastructure facility in the remote area. And the next is gender barrier. So you can see that majority of the people who are holding the account are women, but at the same time, because of the social norms, these bank accounts are still controlled by the men in their home. And coming to the way forward, so what can be done, how we can improve the the efforts towards achieving the financial inclusion. First is the financial literacy drive. So spreading awareness is the first step, and it is the most effective step towards achieving the financial inclusion. And the next is the strengthening the banking mitra and infrastructure facility. So like I mentioned, the banking mitras are the people, and they cannot reach everywhere because of the difficult terrain and the lack of cooperation from the people and all. So ensuring their efficiency is very important through on the job training. And at the same time, going, instead of depending more on banking mitra, we have to go for fixed infrastructure banking facility in the rural area. And at the same time, we can see that under the Jan Dhan Yojana, the minimum pay for the banking mitra is fixed at 5,000 rupees per month. So this has to be improved because of the considering the changes in the prices and all. And the next is promoting active usage. So we can see that the many accounts are not actively used. So we have to create awareness. So through programs to make these people use their accounts actively. And the next is women empowerment. So that means we can see that the majority of the account holders are women, but we are not sure that accounts are managed by these women. So we have to break certain social norms here to that means women focused programs to ensure the financial inclusion. And the next is going for digital innovations like voice based AI transaction for low tech users. So now from 2025, the Jan Dhan Yojana is also planning for strengthening the digital innovations like voice based AI transaction. So this will improve financial inclusion. Especially this will be very useful for the people who are facing the problem of issues related to using the technology and all. Especially it will be very useful for the old age people. So in this topic, we discussed what is Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, what are its achievements, and what are the challenges, and what can be done. So with this, we will move to the prelims focus. So coming to the prelims focus, the first topic is Bharat Ranabhoomi Darshan initiative. So it's an initiative launched by the Defense Ministry along with the Ministry of Tourism, and the objective is to promote tourism to historically significant battlefields. And we know that if you take the tourism, there are different types of tourism like ecotourism, health tourism, dark tourism. That dark tourism means promoting tourism to places like Auschwitz and all. So dark tourism is there. Now the government of India is planning to promote tourism to historically significant battlefields. And in the case of India, we have a lot of places known for the battles like Terrain, Panipat, Kannauj, and Plasi, Buxar, Kolachal in South India. So these are the places in India known for significant battles. So definitely this initiative has a great future. And coming to the next, e-dossier system. So what is meant by dossier? It's a collection of papers containing information about one person or an event or a subject. And this e-dossier system was developed by the Staff Selection Commission for ensuring safe and transparent handling of candidates data regarding the recruitment for examination. And this is very transparent and secure. And coming to the Operation Weed Out. So Operation Weed Out, it is a recent operation conducted by the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence working under the Ministry of Finance. And under this, they seized nearly 72 kg of hydroponic weed worth of 72 crore. And the aim is to dismantle a syndicate involved in smuggling of hydroponic weed into India. And coming to the Sagarmala Startup and Innovation Initiative, so it is launched in 2015 by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. The aim is to revolutionize and create an ecosystem of innovation and entrepreneurship in port and maritime sector in India. So we have two major initiatives, that is Sagarmala and Bharatmala. Bharatmala is launched by the Ministry of Highways, which is both are aiming for connectivity. And we know that in the coming days, the logistics plays a key role. That means better logistics plays a key role in economic growth. And the next is Udayagiri. So Udayagiri, it's a state-of-art project. It's a 17 multi-mission stealth frigate, and this Udayagiri is named after the early INS Udayagiri Frigate 35, and this is built by the Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, which is based in Mumbai. And this Udayagiri is a 100th ship designed by the Indian Navy's Warship Design Bureau. And coming to the key features, it includes a modern combined gas or diesel propulsion system, which provides the thrust to the frigate. And with this, we are coming to the end for today's prelims focus. With this, we are coming to the conclusion for today's current affair analysis. If you like the video, hit the like button, give your feedbacks as comments, and share this content with your friends. And before leaving this channel, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell icon to receive on-time update from Shankar IAS Academy Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.